I've watched videos on tier lists regarding like greatest ever crowns for like kings and queens and shit, and like tier S, etc. Yeah, super cool, man. I'm all about tier list.
We might have to do a tier list.
What do you have in mind? Like for teams, jerseys, or I think jerseys would be cool.
I'm thinking jerseys. I think that would be I think people would enjoy that YouTube content and the pod content.
They
Throw
would
it
eat
up
that
on the
shit up.
screen. Do it
Yeah.
up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Analytics and ideas.
I love it. Yeah. Coming soon. Coming soon. We got something else cooking up soon as well, hopefully with a certain local footballing mogul that
That's right.
I saw on about recently.
Stay tuned. Stick to this channel. Okay, follow this channel.
Glue your eyeballs to this shit.
Big stuff coming. Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait either.
Yeah, Elo, listen, man, how you been? It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. What, a couple weeks now?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. A lot of footy has happened in between. A lot of headlines, a lot of scandals, and we also had a fantastic Champions League draw
Oh my
as well.
God.
And
We sure did.
I gotta say, I was having some TCs looking at this list. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing. It's like with the draws, there's always going to be one or two just like absolute box office masterpieces. And then like this year, I feel like, and this happens all the time though. Like I'm always surprised at how many there truly are. Like we're getting a rematch of last year's final. We're getting
Incredible.
a rematch of a couple years ago's final. So yeah, you couldn't ask for a better draw, man. Honestly.
Right, and you're talking about Bayern, PSG, right? Last year's, right?
Yep.
And then Porto, Chelsea, 2004.
Oh my. Was
Porto
it
play Chelsea in that final?
that? I don't remember. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't. Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm gonna fact check.
I was talking
you're
about,
Real
Madrid.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another good one. I forget who Porto played in the final.
Yeah. I think it was. I thought it was like Monaco, a French club.
Okay, I think you're right.
We gotta fucking fact check that.
But yeah, the Real Madrid Liverpool rematch where we'll get to it. We'll get to the details. But yeah, the draw was great. I'm so excited.
I know, man.
Did you? What did the fact checkers say? Porto, Mourinho. I know it was Mourinho's team. Deco was on the team.
Yep. So I've got like two separate computers going right now, and I grabbed the mouse for the wrong one. Yeah, it was Monaco.
In Monaco, okay.
Yeah.
So I apologize. It was
Bro, don't sweat
fake
it,
news
man.
for a second.
Don't sweat it, man. We've all fallen victim to the fake news.
Sometimes, Can you hear me all right? But sometimes the hay burner, our sponsor hay burner, hits a little different. You know what I mean? And I just forget.
Cheers, amigo.
So, yep.
Thank you again to our friends over at Big Ditch for supplying us with tonight's beverages.
Goes down too easy. But yeah,
so easy, man.
Oliver, first thoughts on the draw. Like when you saw the draw, what was the first thought you had?
Well, my first thought was I'm just stoked to get back into Champions League. It already feels like ages since the last couple games, and especially with Mezque, our favorite local bar, opening back up on the 30th of March. I can't wait to be back in there with the lads watching some top class Champions League, football. So that was my first thought. How about you?
Oh, first thoughts was PSG Bayern. I can't wait for that rematch.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, do you want to just get right into it?
Yeah, let's just jump into it. So, if you guys are just living under a rock or some shit, the matchups are Real Liverpool. That first leg is on April 6th. City Dortmund on April 6th. Then on the 7th, which fun fact is my dad's birthday as well as Will Pollock's father's birthday. Bayern Munich PSG, and then Porto Chelsea. So really some absolute colossal giants
Oh yeah.
ready to
Hmm.
play. So I'm stoked. Let's jump into the first matchup, dude. What are your thoughts here? Let's Real Liverpool.
Yeah, Real Liverpool, a rematch of a couple of years ago's final where uh, we saw great goal from Gareth Bale,
Mm-hmm.
a Madrid legend, and they but there was a lot of controversy. I mean, at least to me, what came out after the game with the Kyrus, the Liverpool goal, yeah, at the time
Loris.
he had a concussion like he got concussed from Ramos or something in the play. So there was, I think there's some bad blood in there, and Liverpool definitely. If you're a Liverpool fan, you want a little bit of revenge because after that final, you had a little bad taste in your mouth because you had a good team and you had some tragic, really tragic failures from the keeper that day that cost you that game.
Yeah, man. I mean, tragic is the word for sure. I could, you and I are both big fans of, Bar Rescue, John Taffer.
Hmm.
What's up, John? If you're a friend of the pod, viewer of the pod, how you doing? Out there in Vegas, but he would look at Loris Karius and he would look at him and he would be like, "What are you doing? Look at this kitchen. Look at this kitchen. There's raw chicken on the counter." he would go, "You're a failure." He would freak the
Total
fuck out on
failure.
him, dude.
Kyrus, Kyrus the type of dude that would serve you raw chicken at least that day,
And then
and
touch your
then
salad.
yeah, such a salad. And then afterwards, after the game, I saw some stuff on social media that like I don't know if it was a leak or whatever, but that he actually was like wanted to be a model. He was like
Oh
soccer
my
was a
god.
stepping stool to modeling. So
Please. I
you
tried
know,
that. I tried that. Doesn't work.
it doesn't work. So a mess, a waste.
Yeah,
But now it's a couple years later. Both teams are very different, right? You
definitely.
gotta say it's different teams.
Yeah, I mean, and another one too that I saw it came up. I think it was today on another podcast I listened to. Is that um, you remember the injury, right? So Sergio Ramos brought down Mo Salah early on, kind of tugged on his shoulder, and so he like
Yes,
broke his shoulder, had to come off
yes.
injured. And I remember back then, and they pointed this out in the podcast, was that Ramos came out and said, "Oh, Mo Salah and I talked, and he accepts my apology and all that." And Mo actually then came out and said, "I never said that. Like, I never forgave you." So it's like Ramos is such a dirty little bastard, dude, for saying that kind of shit.
uh, oh my god! I mean, can you trust a guy who's doing like borderline creep TikTok dances?
Oh
You
my
know,
god,
like, but
cringe.
he is cringe. Cringe is the word. Roll the clip. But
Yeah,
he he he's gonna come out hot. He might. Who knows? He might injure Salah's other shoulder this time.
can you
I
imagine,
wouldn't be
dude?
surprised. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
and yeah, so because what we can talk about their journeys there, like, so I know in the last leg, Ramos was out.
Hmm.
So it was kind of, and Real was kind of in turmoil at the time. Didn't they lose the first leg, or it was like a tie or something against Borussia Mönchengladbach or whatever?
Yeah,
But
they've they've been up and down.
yeah, and so Real hasn't, third place in La Liga right now. A lot
Hmm.
of the attention this year somehow is, as far as La Liga goes, has been focused around Barcelona and all the turmoil going on there. But right now, Barcelona is ahead of them in the La Liga table, despite being out of the
Right.
Champions League. So,
Hmm.
but the other side of the coin is that Zizou's, expertise there are certainly Champions League football. So, can't rule them
Yeah.
out.
No, you can't. And a lot of injuries, right, to the Real Madrid squad. If they can get healthy here at the right time and get some guys back. Ramos
Hmm.
is back, right? Is Benzema playing? Is that
Oh yeah, he'll
he's
be
gonna be?
around.
He'll
And
he'll be there. Vinny Jr. Hopefully, there's a big push in Brazilian media to push Vinny Jr. to kind of be like the next guy. You
oh
know, he's
really,
young, he's in
really?
Madrid. So there's a lot of expectations from him. So we'll see. And then you have Liverpool on the other side. I mean, it's been Premier League law is a disaster, and as you said, they were. What is the quote? They were one Van Dijk injury away from just
Mm-hmm.
being a total mess. Right? Check the tapes.
Dude,
This guy knows what he's talking about, and it happened. And here we are, where and I mentioned this on the last podcast, where if you're a Liverpool fan, the Premier League has to be kind of the priority that you're chasing right now.
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't even going to do that, but I digress. I got to take some
Gotta give
credit
where
where
it's
it's
due.
due, man. That was I think it was a 2019 tweet. I was like,
Yeah, look at that.
maybe even 2018. You guys are gonna have to, you trolls are gonna have to do some digging there, but
Good luck.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, Van Dijk goes out. Obviously, they've had a shit ton of injuries outside of that, but
Yeah,
just sort of a
but they
fragile
do have
core.
a key piece back here, right? You say with Jota.
Yeah, Diego Jota's back. Diogo Jota, I think he featured in their second leg against RB Leipzig, so he'll be back in the mix. It looks
Oh,
like he might be playing he might be the favored son over Firmino right now. At least their last Prem game, he started over him. So,
yeah.
but I don't know how I feel about that because I see Jota as more of like a auxiliary piece to a false nine as opposed to the false nine himself. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think, and we have to think of the other players too. So Salah, he's been well
Yeah.
lately, and but and they still have Mane on the wing. They can plug in Firmino in there. He's a good playmaker. I think it comes down to that defense. Can they stop, that attack
Mm-hmm.
from Real Madrid? Real Madrid has a good midfield, and I can't wait to see that tactical coaching battle between Zizou and Klopp. And you have to start asking with the way Liverpool season has been going, injuries to these key players
Mm-hmm.
is if they do go through and they make a good run and with even though they were without Van Dijk, their best player, some would say that's their best player. Do you give credit to Klopp? Is it Klopp just being like a great manager, or and if they fall, if they lose here, could he be out the door? Has he overstayed his welcome at Liverpool?
Wow. I mean, there have been some circles discussing that. I personally
Right.
I think that's preposterous. I think he'll be around at least for, we'll give him another season, of course. That would be crazy. But the way it is nowadays with managers, there's a very low tolerance for failure, and just like a John Taffer bar rescue episode. One
Mm-hmm.
slip up, one touch of that salad when you've got raw chicken on your gloves, you touch that
So
salad, you can get somebody sick.
it's
And we
one
all
person.
know.
One is one too many
That's right.
when it
That's
comes to
right.
that.
All right. So who do you have? What's your prediction here, man? I'm curious. I don't even want to look back at our predictions from the last round.
Yeah,
I,
me neither. You think
I let's just let's new clean
clean
slate.
slate? Clean slate. Okay, I like that. Um, Real Madrid, Liverpool. I think Real Madrid comes out here. I just think that Liverpool's defense, sorry, won't be able to stop that chemistry
Mm-hmm.
between that Real Madrid has now, and they're fighting. I mean, there's some rumors right now that Zizou could be going to Juve to
Mm-hmm.
replace Pirlo here,
Correct.
and I don't think I don't think that Real's gonna is gonna be too intimidated by Liverpool. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans. I know there's a couple Liverpool fans that be watching, listening, but I think Real Madrid here will just have more quality, better, more a little bit more control of the game, and I see Real Madrid going through close close tie, close matchups, but they'll go through.
Yeah, no,
You?
when I was thinking about this, I definitely did initially think Liverpool's pretty much done and dusted in the Prem. They'll focus all resources on the Champions League.
Exactly.
But as I thought about it more, it's like you can kind of think of it the same way for Real Madrid as well. And I think these players have done it all before, and you can say that about Liverpool too. So I do get that, but I just think Benzema right now he's having a pretty killer season. I think he's third in the Pichichi race in La Liga. So, and if it is to be Zizou's last hurrahs at the helm of the Madridistas, I think that I think they'll beat Liverpool again here, and Los Blancos will move on to the semis.
Yeah, I do think that just give credit to Benzema. You know, players come and go, and he's just been that guy. He's been there, kind of doing it year after year, kind of steady. So I could see it. I could see him back.
But no France call up.
Yeah, that's
Don't
a
need
shame.
him.
What happened there?
Don't need him.
That's a shame. What happened there? It was him and Valbuena, right? That was the beat.
Yeah. Well, his boys and we could do a whole separate pod on that. You can't be. Sheesh. You can't be.
We got so let's because last time we had some confusion. Real Madrid to move on is that we're picking, right? We're not picking like
correct.
Next game,
Correct.
2 legs. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up.
Let's clarify here because we get tweets, we get a lot of DMs.
Oh my God,
we get
the
people
hate
putting
mail.
money on these games. Yeah, people putting money on these games. They send their little Google tickets from the casino. They're like, oh, I put in my AG bet. You know, you guys bet. So it's clarified.
Unbelievable.
They have the option, Real Madrid to move on. Pick
okay, I love it. All right, well, so I guess let's. I'm glad we're in agreement there. I guess so. Let's move on to our next matchup here. Also on April 6th, the eve of my father's birthday, Man City and Dortmund.
Let's go. Yes. Wow. I just gotta say I love the colors we're gonna see on the pitch with the kits.
Ditto.
I'm gonna really enjoy that. It's gonna be nice on the eye, and I can't wait to see Pep overcomplicate how to stop Haaland. That's gonna be great.
That's a really good fucking point, dude. That's so true, dude. Pep. He's known for that though. That's why they've been bottling all their Champions League like knockouts like past the last 16, because he'll come out with a lineup that's like he'll have like Kyle Walker at CDM and like Aguero playing right back, and he just does a bunch of shit. It's like, dude, just fucking play the damn team that you've been playing for the past 6 months, man. God,
yeah,
it's frustrating.
And they pretty much top of the Prem. They got it on lock. They have a big squad where they have some good rotation, and as you said, they're playing some of the best defensive football that they've played under Pep.
Yep.
But here is a hot Dortmund team, young, kind of fast, with this android.
They're unpredictable.
Number 9. Unpredictable is the right word. I love that word.
Yeah.
Unpredictable. And like that, they could be up 2 goals. So, oh man, this is another match that I'm really looking forward to for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on City, of course, top of the Prem. They went on like a streak of 14. What was it, like 18 wins in a row or something crazy like that?
Great.
Whatever the opposite of the Buffalo Sabres' current losing record is.
Yeah.
And shout out to Will Pollock, big Sabres #1 fan out there. What's up, Will?
Mm-hmm.
But
he's stressed.
But yeah, I mean, the newfound partnership of Ruben Diaz and John Stones has been crucial to their success defensively. Clean sheet after clean sheet. Ederson, rock solid. But then also, he's also featured Stones, Diaz, and then Laporte as well at times this season, where it's kind of like a back 3, and then Joao Cancelo. They start as like a back 4, right? And this is where we get into the new Joao. And
yeah. Talk about that.
Joao. Like, how do you
Joao.
say that?
Joao. João Cancelo.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass. I just in a pod I listened to recently, they had someone come on and talk about how you're supposed to say it. Obviously, you're saying it right because you speak Portuguese, but
Portuguese.
I don't know how to say
Cristiano
it.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, there you go.
João. It's a hard one because it's the
João,
J-O-A
João.
with the
It's like
tilde
nasally.
O.
Yeah, it's like
João.
João, João.
That's why Portuguese is the banjo of languages. Okay.
Wow,
João, down, come down, yeah. But anyways,
wow.
yes. Talk about the João Cancelo.
That's crazy, bro. Well, so basically, this is a new role that he sort of introduced this season, Pep, where he'll play with. So on paper, it looks like a back four, right? Laporte at left back, or it's Mendy or whoever. Then it'll be or Zinchenko. Then it'll be
Yeah.
Ruben Diaz, John Stones, and then Joao Cancelo on right back. But essentially, what happens is I'm going to do it for the camera here. That back pivots like this, where Laporte kind of comes in as a second center back. Then it's Diaz deepest, John Stones slightly ahead. So then it's kind of like a true back three. But then Joao Cancelo comes more central in front of John Stones a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And from there, he kind of has. It's you know how the Messi role is talked about as a player in advance, like in a forward position that can just do whatever they want. And
Yeah.
they don't have any real restrictions. It's sort of like the same idea, but in like a deep lying midfield idea where he, as soon as that back three kind of pivots and makes that shape, Joao Cancelo can kind of go infield and then do kind of whatever he wants, whether it's making overlapping runs, just darting through the middle, dinking one over to like Phil Foden or something on the left wing.
Mm-hmm.
So and Pep explained it he was on the Sky Sports with like Jamie Carragher and
Wow.
one of those other fucking guys, maybe Mika Richards. They're hilarious. But he went on there and Gary Lineker, former Tottenham, England or Leicester City, maybe Tottenham too, striker, and he played for Barcelona briefly as well. But he was like pressing Pep on this new role. He's like, "Yo, like what inspired you to do that?" And he's like, "It's all about more people make the passes, more people in this middle." And he's like fixated on having more people like in the middle of the pitch, so there's more bodies like congesting that central area. And I just thought it was super interesting and definitely something that I've never really seen before.
Yeah.
So
It.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
cool.
you said, you've seen it with a Messi, right? Free roll, more like the forward makes sense. Like give the guy who's talented, let him kind of attack, find the lanes. But it's the first time or the most recent time we're seeing with like a defensive side where he's setting up the play, and now they're also like you mentioned Phil Foden, he's kind of coming up as like this next guy, kind of growing up, living up a little bit to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
They got KDB back as well,
Yep. Yep.
which their City fans are happy about. I know Kevin's happy about that for his fantasy team. Um, so it's gonna be a great match where City could have a lot of the possession, but Dortmund may get a quick strike or two and go up a goal. But um, yeah, there's a Pep can go many different ways with his team here, and I'm
He
I'm
can.
excited to see what they do.
I just hope he doesn't fuck it up like you alluded to earlier. Like, though I trust me, I would love a Dortmund upset. I would love a Dortmund upset. I would love Haaland to just keep being a machine. It's like,
Right.
dude, usually with like these players that are up and coming stars and they hit a limit on like, okay, like it finally got to him. He had a night
Yeah.
off. But like this guy, it's like every time the spotlight is on him, he just like will double the expectation almost. It's crazy.
Exactly.
It's awesome, and there's all these things going on about Mbappe, Haaland, this kind of already a rivalry going on, and I love it. I think it's so important to have another thing like that after the Messi and Ronaldo
Yeah.
era because we're gonna as fans we're gonna need something like that to kind of come in
Yeah.
and replace
Football
that.
breathes. It lives.
It does.
Okay. It's not.
So
It's
yeah,
not. You know. And there's some pictures that's gone around with Haaland, Holland when he was younger with a Man City kit.
that's
I'm not sure
true.
if
That's
you've
true.
seen that. So uh, I
Man.
think, yeah, I love a Dortmund upset. It'll be tough. I think Man City is just better on all aspects of the game,
Hmm.
where they can go up a goal and just be super clinical and slice Dortmund up and move on. So I'm gonna go with City here, just because they've been very dominant, and I hope Dortmund puts up a fight, and I hope Haaland builds on his legend. But I don't see Dortmund moving on. I'm sorry, Aiden. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is, if I were betting with my heart, um, I would bet
Oh,
Dortmund for sure. Um, but
wow.
I'm betting with my brain. I'm gonna bet with Man City there because I can't see it. Dortmund been too unpredictable this year. It'd be foolish to think that they could beat
Hmm.
the best defensively playing Man City that we've seen in probably Pep's era. So
Yeah.
you got to go Man City here then. All right.
Yeah, and Dortmund a couple games ago they played Bayern, right? Best team right now in football, some could say, in the German league, and they kind of bottled it. You know, they had a shot there, so uh, I I know Man City is just more quality. This is a big project. There's been a whole Amazon fucking documentary on this Man City project, and I don't think they trip up here. Not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet.
All right. Cool. So far we're both in agreement.
Unbelievable. But this next one's gonna make you think.
This is gonna be
Next
interesting.
two.
Yeah, for sure. Ay ay ay. All right. Why don't you kick this one off? What do we got? Go for it.
Okay, so we got a rematch of last year's Champions League, PSG versus the Goliath Bayern Munich, who have just been incredible, a machine. Hans Flick has more trophies as a manager than lost games. They what can't they do? They come back from behind. They have Lewandowski. They are a German machine. You know, the Germans. And then on the other side, you have PSG. Neymar is back. Mbappe, the next, Pele, already won a World Cup. It's just, this draw was incredible. I gotta say that again, incredible. So, I mean, what do you think? We got top of Bundesliga, PSG finally making a comeback now, top of Ligue 1 with Lille,
Hmm.
which for a while was a little shaky there. PSG were losing games, but now they seem to be on track. It's
Right.
gonna be a great one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, I love to see a good rematch like this, especially kind of earlier on in the draw because I feel like there's less pressure in like a quarterfinal as opposed to if they were to have a rematch in a semi or another final there. So I think the players will
Hmm.
be. I mean, of course, there's still going to be a shit ton of pressure involved, but I think
Yeah.
that it's going to be a little bit less in a quarter. But yeah, I mean, Bayern Munich, top of the Bundesliga right now. They've just been steamrolling teams. One or two shakeups though this season, but the thing is, the depth in that squad, it's just unreal, dude. They've got in those elite positions where you need those game changers like Serge Gnabry and then like a Kingsley Coman and then what's his name, Leroy Sané. Like to have three guys like that all pretty much the same play the same role. It's just maybe City has something like that, but I would argue that Bayern's options are probably even stronger than City
Right.
in that
Yeah,
kind of
those
way.
guys would start on any team.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and Lewandowski also has been just absolutely just shafting that thing around this season, just goal after goal. He's just the Polish Punisher, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude, he's been
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
He can't be stopped. He's so kind of like lame and annoying, but
Yeah. I know what
he's
you
just
mean.
elite. Like, yeah, he's just not really cool. Like, I think that like that's, and maybe that's no hate on Polish people. Well, I'm just never mind. I'm not gonna go there. No, but he's just there's no like spice or like anything like interesting that you want to like learn a bit more about? He doesn't have like crazy style. He's just like a fucking machine. And it's
I don't know.
it's not in the way that like Haaland though is, right? Like you look at Haaland, you're like, whoa, that guy's like just kind of weird looking. He's like runs weird, like a freaking monster. But you look at Lewandowski, he's just like a droid. He's just like, he's like kind of like a robot.
Exactly. No, and exactly. I'm so glad you brought that up because even if you watch Lewandowski's TikTok, and if you don't know, during lockdown, these guys had nothing to do. So even Lewandowski started doing TikToks, and if you watch some of his TikToks, he has no rhythm. He's kind of stiff, all goofy.
Really stiff.
He's kind of that guy that goes to the Caribbean and there's some music going on. He just tries it. He tried it. It's okay. So he definitely, but he can score. He can score goals, and that's all that matters for his job. So with Neymar back though, that's how do you prep for Neymar and Mbappe? I mean, when they played him last year, it was only 1-0 win by Bayern, and PSG had chances. It's not like they got dominated. They had chances. They definitely should have scored. And Mbappe is like just on a super high after that Barcelona games. It's really one of those that makes you think like it could go either way. I think.
No, I agree, man. To your point about Neymar is that, and we talked about this in a previous pod about the shadow that he's kind of been in, and I think he's gonna come out in this match because he'll be fit by then, and hopefully be starting, and he's gonna be first of all super pissed that he wasn't able to play against Barcelona, and seeing Mbappe getting all this hype and shit, and he's gonna come out there with, I think, a real point to prove, and it'll be like a career-defining moment, I think, for him. And I think that I think he's really gonna have a career because he's gonna be like, hold up, like you guys, you're talking about Mbappe, Haaland, Ronaldo, Messi. No one's really talking about me in that way anymore. He's gonna, I think he's really gonna be like, you know what, dude? Did you guys forget the kind of YouTube shit that I would do? And then, like, do you remember who I am? And I think he's just going to pop off. And Bayern has had one or two shakeups defensively so far this season in the Bundesliga. Like, I think they lost to, like, Frankfurt or some shit. So I think that's why that reasoning alone is I'm going to take PSG here, believe it or not.
Oh, you're going PSG here?
I'm going to go PSG.
Okay. Yeah, I think with Neymar back, Mbappe flying, they have Marquinhos on the defensive side. I feel like they could hold it down with two legs, 2 games. The final, you only get one shot.
True.
Neutral place. They lost 1-0, so maybe in 2 legs they could pull it off. PSG as well. I think this comes down again to, do I go with the heart or do I go with the head, with the brain, here? And as much as I would love to see Neymar do it, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Bayern goes through here. Yeah, I think, but they've just been too good, and I think you have to beat them twice. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
That's a good point. All right.
So.
All right, dude. We're that's our first disagreement of the day here as far as the quarters. So
put it on the chart. We'll see.
Put it on the motherfucking chart.
Ain't no way,
dude. Let's go though. I'm so stoked. I can't wait. I'm literally gonna be so hyped for this shit.
Only a couple days away.
I know,
Only a couple days away.
Really, for real. Now,
and
yeah. Do you wanna do an intro for this last one here?
No, you got this.
I mean, it's to be honest, it's sort of definitely a little bit anticlimactic here, but it's going. It very well could be the most. We've talked about unpredictable with Dortmund, but as far as draws go, matchups, this could very well be the most unpredictable of them all here. Porto against Chelsea. Porto, second place in the Portuguese Premier League right now. Primera Liga or whatever the hell. I don't know. But first of all, they just beat Juve, man. Like, they just played Cristiano Ronaldo, Sporting Lisbon guy, whooped their ass. And it was a major upset. Like, their whole project at Juventus this year was to win Champions League. And Porto beats them. So that's huge. On the other side of the coin, I think I've said that twice now. I sound like a 90-year-old man. But Chelsea has been sort of like they've been a really interesting team this season because they started kind of hot with old Frankie Lamps over there in London, and then just went stale really quick. Like someone left that bag of chips open too long without the chip clip, and then fucking they canned his ass, sent him packing, and now you got that weirdo looking Thomas Tuchel as manager, and now they haven't lost in like 14 games since he's been in charge. So
that's insane.
Yeah.
Is he just scare them into like playing well?
Well, I think like... it's a classic case of, and you see this in professional life, you see this in sports. When you get a new boss, manager, coach that comes in and he doesn't know anybody, he looks around. He looks at you the same way as that guy and that guy and that guy.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I don't give a shit who the hell you are. You got to play up to this level of player, otherwise you're not going to be in my team." And you've already seen that happen with, the likes of Marcus Alonso at Chelsea that faded into obscurity for all of Lampard's reign, basically. And I think like second match of Tuchel's reign or career, or not career, but tenure, he's back on the left wing, just banging in like goals from 10-degree angles, like how we did 4 or 5 years ago. So it just goes to show the effect, the new manager effect, where you've got players that are like, oh, I got a new chance, like I can really just turn up and maybe I'll be starting every week now. So
yeah. It definitely revived some players, and Alonso's a good point. Like he was a good piece for Chelsea, and then kind of disappeared, and now he's back. So, and I think that's a testament to Chelsea's depth too. And I think that was something that I thought gave him a good chance to go deep in the Champions League, just because they have a lot of players, young players, and now with this new coach too, like you said, like. Now it's not guaranteed for a Mason Mount to play or a Havertz to play. They kind of gotta show this coach something, and players play harder, guys work harder. Maybe they're staying late to take some free kicks, some corners. The coach is looking at that. He's trying to see who's serious, who wants to be here. Exactly.
He's like,
scouting and
lurking.
It all respect to Porto, a lot of history. Portugal, they've been like you said, upset Juve, destroyed the whole project. I mean, they're not going to win the Champions League. They're probably not going to win the Serie A. Man, they
Juve?
Went from
mess.
Juve, a mess. Pirlo, what a mess, dude.
Pirlo, you remember the phrase? How did it go? No Pirlo, no party. They need to revise that phrase because it's management Pirlo now. It's, Pirlo? No party. You know what I mean? Like, party's over because Pirlo, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, man.
Dude,
he just looks important, dude. He just looks like...
He
just kind of stands there with his, like... I swear, dude, he does his hair like... And this might be controversial. He does his hair like a woman every morning. I saw my mom would do it like when I was little, with her hair straightener and do it. I swear he does the same shit.
I'm sure, and he should be focusing more on the game plan. And there's been rumors. I read a quote. I won't put this guy on blast. It was a ex-player or a current player, that played with Ronnie CR7, saying the Ronnie project is a failure because he came here worried about his stats, and which I don't. I think Ronaldo wants to win in the Champions League and do it with Juventus, like another challenge. So it's just a shame.
Cassano?
To see. Yeah, Cassano, that's who it was.
Antonio Cassano, that freaking slimy bastard.
So slimy.
Oh, but he's right.
So But we're gonna, I digress. Porto, you are great. Pepe, great player.
How about
Brazilian,
Pepe? How about Pepe?
converted to Portuguese. Okay, so
So how do you feel about that? Do
I
you
mean,
resent him?
I would have loved to have Pepe on the Brazilian team because he's got heart, and
Imagine
he would.
Pepe and Thiago Silva, center backs.
Pepe, Thiago Silva, Felipe Melo, like all those guys, just like
Holy shit. That sounded
it
like
would
an
have been
MMA fight card.
nice. Yeah, right. No, I would pay for that. But yeah, I mean, and this is something that Pepe kind of has been like a little forgotten since he kind of he left Real Madrid,
Yeah.
and then he had this great performance versus Juve, Pepe versus Ronaldo. He's kind of on the spotlight again,
Yeah.
and can he stop this Chelsea attack that I'm not too sure. I mean, any idea? What do you think Tuchel's going to come out with?
Uh, well, God, geez, that's the thing. He's pretty much changed his lineup almost every game that he's been in charge, and
Yeah,
it seems like he likes to have Havertz a little bit more advanced as like almost a false nine. Timo Werner's been there as maybe a point man, but I don't know enough about how Porto plays to make an assessment there because if Porto plays like a higher line, which I can't imagine they would because of how old Pepe is,
yeah,
then then Tuchel might hesitate having Timo be in like a run and gun type role, and they might play a more kind of possession type thing where maybe there is a Giroud involved. Um,
yeah,
but because Werner's meant for those games where the team's playing a high line, you could just dink it in back behind those center backs. He chases it; it's a breakaway every time. So I don't know, man. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. One thing I'm really curious about, and this is just such a phenomena for me, is um, Pepe is one of those rare guys, and there's a lot. There's a couple of them that I could think of in the world of soccer where they just randomly choose to be bald guys, and then within like weeks have a full head of flowing hair. And I'm not talking hair transplants or anything. This is all natural, dude. It's like literally Pepe. He'll just be like, "Oh, I'm shaving this whole shit off." Razor. I'm
bald.
talking razor bald.
Yeah,
And then he'll just like 3 weeks later he'll show up and it'll be like a post match interview. I'll be like, "Oh my god, dude, he's got like the Kim Jong Un haircut. Like, how the hell did that happen in a matter of a week? These guys just grow hair like it's I
it's
don't know.
insane.
You know what I mean, dude? It's
Yeah, I've
crazy.
seen him bald. I've seen him buzz cut. I've seen him with the Kim Jong Un. I've seen him with the Jerry Curl cut. This is
The Jericho. That might be the best Pepe. The Jericho Pepe.
he's got so many looks, and you never know what you're gonna get. The same way you never know if you're gonna get a kick right to your knee or if you're gonna get an elbow right to your ribs.
A little
With
nut
Pepe,
shot, maybe a little
a
nut
little
shot.
nut shot. You never know, and that's the unpredictability that Chelsea's gonna have to deal with. Timo Werner, he better be ready for Pepe. All those guys better be ready for him. You know,
So
but
who do you got then?
I'm gonna go. Chelsea. They held this down for me last round. I'm gonna go Chelsea again. I think they.
Right, you did have Chelsea last round. I had
Yeah,
to let it go.
I think they go through. They have. I'm not sure. Is Thiago Silva gonna be back? I'm not sure if he's
That's a good question. I don't know.
on his way, but you mentioned Conte picked up a hammy injury.
He did pick up a hammy injury for France
Okay, tough.
yesterday. But Chelsea's also they've been playing a good amount of games without him because he's been kind of battling some shit. With just because Kovacic is lighting it up again, so they might be okay without
Yeah,
Conte. Honestly, it's just crazy to say.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe they can. I think they could do without Conte in this game and be okay. So yeah, I'm gonna
Hmm.
go Chelsea here. Chelsea wins. Uh, both legs they go through.
Yeah, you know
Which
what,
is
I gotta agree. I think Chelsea wins as well. Um, Also, I'd love to see Tuchel going against PSG in the next round, maybe in the semis. So
that'd be
I'll
great.
kind of root for that. But yeah, so the only thing we disagreed on was PSG Bayern then. But yeah, man, any kind of final comments as we kind of wrap it up here? It's been a lovely pod.
Yeah, it's been great. Final thoughts, conclusion is just the Champions League is where legends are made. And if some of these young guys are serious, this is where they got to show up. So I'm really excited that Champions League has a lot of young guys out there, and we're seeing the passing of the torch. No Messi, no Ronaldo.
Wow.
Let's see. This is the quote unquote year where the torch is being passed. There's been some comments from Ray Hudson saying that you're out of your mind if you think Mbappe and Haaland are here to replace Ronaldo and Messi.
He's so
Um,
dramatic.
th- that's a conversation for another podcast. But yeah, there's no time like the present, and I can't wait.
Well said, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Italo, it's always a freaking pleasure,
Of course.
man.
Oh
God, what
yeah,
a treat.
sure.
What a treat.
It's always a treat.
And
And
we'll be in touch
make
for
sure
the
you like,
next one, man.
subscribe. Yeah, like, subscribe, and you know, the DMs. Make sure if you have a gambling problem, you get help. But if you are gonna put some money on our picks and they don't hit, please don't spam
Don't
us
take
and
it
try
out
to get
on
our
us.
account banned.
Not
Yeah.
our fault. Not our fault. Also, maybe some merch coming out in the spring. We'll see. We got some. We
Oh,
have some foreign investors that are looking at us. So
love
stay
it.
tuned for the merch. We'll let you guys all know. Okay.
Stay tuned to this channel. Thanks, y'all.
All right, Elo. Peace
Amigos.
out, man.
Peace out, dog.
Later.